We are so conditioned into believing how powerless we are. It's just not even a thought. We just don't think we can. Our thoughts do nothing. That's what most people think. But when people start to realize that they do have an effect, and that when you get a group of people that can elevate their energy, they can open their hearts, and they understand that the body and the heart begin to produce a magnetic field, and that field can influence other people if there's a thought or an intent laid on that. And we've done the measurements to prove that. Then you start to realize that when you get enough people doing that it affects people's autonomic nervous system. In other words, when you do it, and you send the thought that everybody in the room, that their lives be enriched, their bodies be healed, that the dreams come true, that the mystical find them, and they're wearing heart rate monitors, and you see those people go into heart coherence at the exact same time, at the exact same day, in the exact same meditation, you realize that we're bound by this invisible field of energy. And so because of that, we've done some global coherence meditations. We had 46,000 people on our last one, which is a pretty good statistic. But here's my thought. And the HeartMath Institute has their global coherence project as well. And we want to do something where we do it all together, right? And I think we will in the next year or so. But the thing is that if you look at the peace-gathering projects that have taken place in the last 40 years or so, yeah, there's crime rates that go down, violence goes down, economic growth goes up, and there's a strong correlation between the sun's activity and a lot of these things. But when the projects were over, crime returned back to its normal value, and violence and car accidents randomly started increasing again. So it's not enough to just think it and to focus on it or feel it. We have to live that prayer. We have to demonstrate it. The prayer goes on. You have to be eyes open now in that energy. And then if you're forgiving, if you're not cheating your neighbor, if you're not manipulating outcomes, if you're not reacting violently to certain situations or judging other people because you're self-regulating, then other people around you that observe you will start doing the same. So the problem is a lot of people do that, and then they go unconscious, and they're cutting people off as they drive out of the peace be with you at church, shake your hands, peace be with you, get in your car and cut people off as you're trying to get out of the parking lot. Like, that can't be there. I mean, you can't want peace and be arguing with your relative or your coworker. You got to take care of that. So the model has to be in the realm of demonstration too, because if you keep demonstrating it, you'll go from thinking to doing to being. And when you're in that state of being, then all of a sudden you got a community of people that now have memorized an internal state that's greater than any condition in their outer environment, and that's when the environment begins to respond. So I do think it's possible, but given the amount of time information travels around the world with whatever crisis we're in, that does affect people, so we have to be the demonstration of it. And as all these paradigms begin to fall apart, I mean, whether it's politics or economics or the environment or education or the religion or the medical model, whatever is collapsing, they're all collapsing. Journalism, it's all falling apart because something greater has to happen. And information creates awareness. Awareness is consciousness, so consciousness is energy, so you have a change in energy. So any system that's no longer consistent with that change in energy is going to unravel. But that chaos is just unpredictable order. Something greater is going to reorganize. As long as you and I are not living in fear, in hostility, in anger, in suffering, we have to rise above that. Then when we do, we help to create that reorganization.